Okay, so, all right, and let's see. All right. Meeting started. I just need, I need the time.
Time is 7:38.
37. Oh,
7:38.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. All right. I am calling the November, I can't believe it's November 3rd. Okay, so we have a quorum, and let me go to the agenda. All right, did everyone have an opportunity to read the minutes of the last Zoom meeting on September 1st?
Madam Chair, before you do that, can you start the meeting by reading the advisement about this being a Zoom meeting and stuff to allow the public access? Anyone may access the meeting via Zoom to comply with the governor's orders.
Sure. Do you want me to
I'll do it for you if you want me to.
yeah, do you, I just wanted to know if we can do have everyone, I can't,
The meeting minutes you're talking about?
yeah. And to show everyone, I don't know why.
There you go.
Oh, thank you.
Right.
Thank you, thank you. All right. So, would you like to, who am I talking to?
It's Russell. You want me to read this into the record?
Oh, yes, please.
All right. Good evening, everybody. This is a meeting of the Fair Rent Commission for Wednesday, November 3rd at 7:30 p.m. It's a regular meeting agenda via teleconference. To allow the public access, anyone may access the meeting by telephone, Zoom, and or the City of Norwalk YouTube channels. Specific instructions and links can be found at www.norwalkct.org/meetings. Members of the public can call in and listen to a meeting. They will not be able to speak or see any of the meeting participants. Each meeting will use a unique meeting webinar ID. Members of the public who wish to provide live comments will need to register in advance and use the Zoom meeting platform. All participants will be muted upon entering the meeting. To speak, click and raise your hand indicator, and you will be called on by the host of the meeting during the public comment section. Members of the public who wish to view the meeting but are not participating can view a live stream of the City of Norwalk YouTube channel. The stream is delayed by approximately 20 seconds. Members of the public who wish to provide public comment are encouraged to submit those via email in advance of the meeting. For those comments to be read into the record, they should be submitted at least 3 hours in advance of the meeting start time. Please email the fairrent@norwalkct.org to provide written public comment prior to the meeting. And this is all in compliance with Governor Lamont's Zoom meetings. So, Madam Chair, you're free to start your meeting. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for doing that. So we started the meeting at 7:38. And I asked if everyone had an opportunity to read over the minutes from the last meeting.
Yes.
Okay. So who was that? Fran?
Sonia.
Oh, oh, I'm sorry. Uh, okay. Did everyone have an opportunity to read the minutes from the last meeting?
Samuel, yes.
John, yes.
Dan, yes.
Yes.
Okay. How many?
I think I heard 5 people affirm that they had read the meeting minutes.
Okay. All right. Yes. All right.
They're on the screen now.
Oh, there you are. Is there a motion or do we have any? I'm
I
not
make a
sure.
motion to accept the minutes. This is Sonia.
Oh, thank you.
Clemens, seconds.
All right, so. Sonia. And. Any further discussion? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. Thank you. All right. So,
Just for the record, everyone who's here voted in favor of adopting the minutes.
yes.
Okay.
Okay. So I have no chair's report other than how is everybody weathering the COVID? John?
Well, we're all doing the best we can, I think.
Mm. Mr. Pride?
Yeah, doing the best I can.
Mhm. Fran?
Doing great. I've got my booster shot with no side effects, so our household is good.
Good. Sonia?
That shot knocked me out. The first one and the second one
Oh,
knocked me down.
oh dear.
A lot of people that I've spoken to though said that anyone that had COVID that they knew that got the shot got knocked down.
Oh
Don't know
dear.
why the fact of having COVID and getting the shot knocks you down. And if you didn't have COVID, it didn't bother you. But a lot of people have told me that.
Well, the
Oh,
first and second shot, I didn't have COVID, but I did have issues. But the booster, I had none.
Okay. Well,
Hmm.
it knocked me down. I was in bed
Hmm.
2 days. I was in bed with the first dose and the second dose.
So in essence, you're talking about the COVID test.
The shot, yep, the vaccine knocked me
Yeah,
down.
what did you
When
have?
did you get Sonia?
I had Moderna.
Yeah, that's what I had, Moderna too. But it knocked me for 2 days. I was sick 2 days.
Yep.
Oh,
I had
dear.
Pfizer.
Hmm. Hmm.
Those things happen.
Hmm. Hmm.
I got sick.
Hmm.
Yep. But I'm all right. I'm doing good.
Good. Okay,
Sonia, mute yourself.
That's not me, that was Johnny.
Johnny, mute yourself. We hear your potato chips.
No, you're right. Sorry.
As soon as I heard it, I checked the top of the screen.
Good detective work.
okay, well. Hopefully, everybody has a good report from their vaccines. Okay. Let's see. All right, we're gonna go to review and discussion and motions on the open cases. And I am going to ask Attorney Liskov if he could review the open cases.
I'll be happy to do that, Madam Chair. Good evening, everybody. Russell Liskov, and have lots of good news to give you tonight. And our docket is definitely going down. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of time to get these things moving. The first case I have before you tonight is 1781-19. In that case, the tenant and the landlord entered into a signed settlement agreement. The complaint, the tenant filed the withdrawal of the complaint. So I would ask you to please close this case. Everything has been completely resolved.
I vote to close case 1781-19, or motion to
Samuel-
close.
Fran
Samuel,
Collier,
second.
Clemens, second.
Okay, wait a minute. So John Church and second. And all right. So is there any discussion on this case? Okay, all in favor of closing it?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
thank- Okay, thank you. And any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay,
All right. The second case we have for you tonight is 1789-20. Once again, in this case, the landlord has withdrawn his proposed rental increase and the tenant filed a withdrawal of the complaint. Once again, we recommend that we close this case.
Sonia makes a motion to close the case.
Second. John,
John, thank you. Okay, any discussion on this case? All in favor of closing it?
aye.
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 Okay, any opposed?
I constructed entirely of white oak and rise 7 stories in the air. Strange thing happened after my first 3 stories were built. The ground beneath me began to sink. So, the leaning tower of Pisa.
Someone has a phone going on.
Okay,
Okay, let me move on to the next case then, because that one seems.
okay, so, yeah, it's closing and we all in favor and no one's opposed and no abstentions. Okay, thank you.
The next case is 1796-21. In that one, the landlord and the tenant signed a new lease with each other for another year. The tenant filed the withdrawal of the complaint. We recommend that you once again close this case as it's been fully resolved.
Sonia,
Fran
Samuel
Collier,
recommend to close the
Clemens.
case.
Wait a minute, excuse me. Who Who made the motion?
Sonia,
Thank you. Okay, second,
Samuel, second.
thank you. Any discussion on this case? All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Okay, anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, thank you.
Okay, the next case is 1799-21. In this case, the tenant has renewed her lease with the landlord. We've been asking them for the withdrawal. We've mailed them, we've emailed them the withdrawal form. They have not responded. I know Jasmine has called them several times to get the withdrawal form. I know everybody wants a withdrawal form, but they're just not responding. So we're making a recommendation that the case be dismissed because they have a new lease in place and they're just not responding to our request for the withdrawal. It's just clogging up the docket for no reason.
Mm,
So I would ask that, I recommend that we dismiss this case as it's fully resolved.
Sonia makes
Okay.
the motion to dismiss.
Second,
Who seconded?
Dora.
Okay. Any discussion on this case? All in favor of dismissing it?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Who opposed?
No, I think it was a late yes.
Oh, okay. All right. So nobody opposed and no abstentions.
I abstain.
Okay.
I abstain.
Oh,
John Church.
okay. Okay, thank you. All right.
The next case is 1800-21. This is a complaint that came in after I came. I've been working on it. We've emailed the landlord many times. We've emailed and called the tenant many times. They're all listed out. We started this on 8/13, 8/24, 8/30, 9/27, and 10/22. Nobody's responding to anything. The tenant won't respond to a letter. They won't respond to a telephone call. The landlord won't respond to anything either. Short of subpoenaing people to prosecute their own cases, I don't know what else to do. So I'm recommending that we dismiss the case because you have to at least be semi-cooperative with us if we're gonna at all try to assist people. I mean, we're going back now to August 13th, so August to September, September to October, and we're into November now. If you guys want to let it sit for another month, we'll send out another letter. But to me, no one is trying to do anything. So we're going to recommend it be dismissed. But if you want to take no action after another month, that's fine with me also. You're the board. You can do it as you want to do, and I'll take it in stride, whatever your pleasure.
I make a motion to dismiss it. They haven't responded since August.
Yeah, I'm actually okay with this too. 2 no response letters, I think is sufficient, or 3 if you include the email.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
So, who made the motion?
But before we
Wait a
do that, shouldn't we send them something in writing before we just dismiss it?
We have. We sent them 2 letters already.
We sent them the letter saying what? That
Yeah,
we were going
that
to
if you-
dismiss
that
the
if-
case or for them to respond?
That
Right.
if you do not respond to us, we're going to move to dismiss your case for failure to cooperate and participate in the adjudicated procedure.
Oh,
Hey, I'm no one, I mean, they can always refile if they think something is amiss, but it's a shame when you reach out to people to try to help them and try to get in between and fashion a settlement of all the parties to make everybody happy, and then they just completely ignore you. I don't know what, as I said, I don't know what else to do other than basically subpoena them to prosecute their own cases.
My
Mm.
opinion is we shouldn't continue to spend time on that.
Yeah,
If there's ongoing negotiations or if there's been correspondence, that's one thing, but if there's no response and we've sent a no response letter a couple of times and there's been nothing,
mm.
I don't think that the staff should be spending time on this, especially since
I
we have
just-
no staff.
I just want to interrupt. Mr. Halliday's in the meeting.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
I do gotta tell you, Jasmine does a great job. Miss Principe
Mhm.
is exceptional in what she does. She is extremely diligent and she is on top of everything. So,
Mhm.
yeah, you're very blessed to have a person like her watching over all the files.
Mm. All right, so do we have a motion to dismiss this case?
I move to dismiss 1800-21.
I thought we'd already
And
done
Kelly
that.
Clemens second.
All right, but everyone was talking and so.
That doesn't, okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. Let's keep going.
All right, who made the motion?
John,
John Church,
Okay, who seconded?
Fran,
Thank you. Okay, and any further discussion? All in favor of dismissing this case?
aye.
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 Okay, anyone opposed?
Aye.
Who
Me,
was that?
Johnny.
Oh, okay. Okay, okay, any abstentions? Okay,
Someone has a TV on.
I know, it's,
There we go.
Hmm.
The next case I have for you is 1801-21. I am working with both the landlord and the tenant on that matter. We have negotiations ongoing. I won't tell you what's going on, but I recommend we take no action this meeting, and hopefully the next meeting, that case will have a settlement agreement in it.
Sonia,
Right.
motion for no action.
Samuel, second.
who?
Sam.
Who's? Oh, okay. All right, okay, any discussion? All right, any opposed? Any abstentions?
We didn't ask in favor.
Oh, all in favor, I miss a step.
Aye.
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 Okay, anybody opposed? And any abstentions? Okay. All right,
The next matter will be under new cases.
mm-hmm,
And it will be 1802-21. I've been dealing with both the landlord and the tenant. But this really doesn't fall under your bailiwick. They are fighting about who has the right to go into a bathroom at certain times. And they're fighting about who can use the laundry room, when they can use the laundry room, and how often the laundry room can be used in the property. That's not really under the jurisdiction of the Fair Rent Commission. I referred them to couples court, basically, to try and figure out if they can help themselves. You know, the music is too loud and the alarm goes off too early and someone doesn't do the dishes. And as I said, in all good conscience, we recommend that you do not vote to hear this case because it really doesn't fall under the umbrella of the Fair Rent Commission.
Motion to not hear the case, Sonia.
Dan seconded.
Who seconded?
I think Sonia did.
Dan,
Dan.
It was me.
Dan.
Yep, Dan.
Oh, okay. And any discussion on this case?
Yeah, I do. So according to the Fair Rent Commission procedures, I believe a complaint has to be at least one of the following. 1, proposed rent increase is excessive. 2, existing rent is too high. 3, landlord has decreased the services covered by the rent. 4, landlord is not responsive to requests for repairs. And so my question is, does use of a particular room, such as the laundry room, count as decreasing the services covered by the rent? And I'm not saying it necessarily does, but I want to raise that as a question, because if the tenant signed the lease believing that they had use of the laundry room or the bathroom for that matter at any time of the day, and now they're being told, oh no, you only can have it between 8 p.m. and 12 p.m. or something like, 12 a.m. or something like that, or between noon and 5 when they might be working, right? That might be considered a decrease in services covered by the rent.
I don't think so, because that person is using the washroom, is using the laundry facilities, but they're arguing about the size of the laundry that's being done. They're arguing about how much detergent is being used. It's
Okay.
just, it's a lady who took it and, well, I don't want to give you too many facts of the case, but it's two people who are not getting along with each other over basically everything. And
That's fine. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't because if it is, I don't know if it's saying they're being denied access, that does seem like it's a reduction in services. So that's why I wanted to understand. But if you're saying it's not really that, it's more just squabbling about day-to-day stuff, then that's different. I agree.
it is, the police have been called out about 15 times to try to adjudicate between the two people. And, I think it'll resolve itself when the lease is up in January. So, as I said, I would ask you to vote to not hear the case.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor of not hearing this case?
Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Okay,
So as of tonight, we stand with one case left on the docket that hopefully will be able to be resolved by next month. And we'll see what happens. I'm sure you'll get new business coming in as eviction court is piping up and landlords are trying to do what landlords are trying to do and tenants are trying to do what tenants try to do. So I'm sure you'll get busy. You'll get busy again eventually. Thank you.
okay, and thank you for doing that.
Well, I'm gonna give most of the credit to Jasmine because she's on top of everything, and her being bilingual is extremely helpful. And my Spanish is okay for understanding it. I just can't get it from my brain to my tongue to speak it fluently. But she's terrific.
She is, yes.
Well, let's thank Jasmine and thank you as well. I think you're both doing a great job.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely. Okay. And
According
that,
to our agenda, the next topic is motion to adjourn. So I move to
Wait,
adjourn.
wait, no, I need to bring something up.
Okay.
And I don't know where this falls. I don't know if we have any jurisdiction here or not, but I told the person that I would inquire. It's actually a double scenario. I had a situation where a young lady was told that she had a place in Soundview Landing, was told to give notice to her existing landlord. Soundview Landing then came back to her. They didn't put anything in writing, and to my understanding, that's being worked on and they're gonna take care of that issue. But they don't give these people anything in writing. They tell them that they're qualified, they're approved. They tell them to give notice, and then they turn around, and this case wasn't the first case of this happening. They tell them to give notice, and then they call them back, and tell them that, oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, you don't qualify. I told the person to contact Norwalk Housing Authority because now she'd given notice to her existing landlord. And landlord, of course, accepted her breaking of the lease because they already had an agreement. And now she was stuck with nowhere to go. I told her to contact Housing Authority. She was told there was nothing they could do. I was like, that's impossible. I don't believe that. So I personally reached out and contacted Anna. And Anna basically said, no, there's nothing we can do about that. What do you mean there's nothing you can do about that? And Anna was actually the one to tell me it wasn't the first time that it had happened. Shouldn't they have some sort of, I don't know how that whole thing was put together, I guess is my concern. And how can they be functioning in that manner and no one have any power over them? Luckily, me being involved in local politics, I knew, what to do and who to call. And I reached out to, Darlene Young, and she immediately jumped all over it and armed with the email that I put together, for this young lady and sent out, we were able to get her into a unit at Soundview Landing. But what happens to those people that don't have that as an option, who don't know who to call? There's got to be something, somebody has got to have some sort of jurisdiction over that. Does anybody have any idea, any insight, any input? Who would have jurisdiction over the people that, I think the name of the company is Liberty or something, Trinity, that's running Soundview Landing. They can't continue to tell people they're qualified and have them go give notice and then turn around a few days later and tell them, oh, I'm sorry, you're not qualified. It doesn't work that way. This young lady almost ended up with no place to go.
The problem is
she had nothing in writing. She had nothing in writing, nothing.
According to their own words, they don't give you anything in writing until you are ready to sign your lease. And when Darlene contacted them, and Darlene said to her, tell me exactly what you said to this young lady. She repeated to Darlene what she said to the young lady. And Darlene said to her, you can't say that. She said, based on what you just told me, I'm ready to go give my landlord notice. So Darlene said she's going to work with them and try to help them out. But there's got to be someone else that, or some other, group that's responsible that, that they have to report to. This doesn't make any sense. So we just, tore down Washington Village, built all these new units, and this outside developer is handling a certain portion of those units, and they're screwing things up. I don't know what happened to the other person that it happened to, but this person happened to be my niece. So she immediately, called screaming and yelling, I got nowhere to go. These people are now telling me I don't qualify after telling me I did.
So Russell, let me ask a question, Russell. Isn't that a contract, a verbal contract?
Of course.
That they're breaching?
Yes.
If they said to her, that's a verbal contract, am I correct?
It is. There's no question about it. It's a verbal
Okay,
contract.
so then what I'm gonna go back and say to Adam, because I happen to be on the Housing Authority board, they gotta do better. They cannot be telling people that. If they don't have an apartment for them, they should not be trying to say, well, you have an apartment and then come back, you don't qualify. You cannot tell people that.
But
you
see,
cannot
here's the
do
problem.
that.
But here's the problem. The apartment that she qualified for, according to Anna, didn't fall under the Housing Authority's jurisdiction. It was one of the ones that Liberty was managing. And Trinity. And they're trying to tell me that they have no jurisdiction over Trinity. And I'm like, that's absolutely ridiculous. So you're going to allow this organization to put people on the street? And when Anna told me it wasn't the first time, I was like, and you did nothing about it when you heard about it the first time?
Well, I'm not understanding Anna's logic, being that she is from.
She's a director.
But no, she's from Fair Rent.
Absolutely, which is why I was very happy to call her, only to have her tell me she had no jurisdiction and she couldn't do anything. Well, and then, wait, here's the kicker. I'm sorry, I almost forgot about this. Now, this is a young lady that lives in Norwalk, has a 12-year-old son. Her entire support system is here in Norwalk. When they said, once they did this to her, they said, oh, well, we'll give you a Section 8 voucher. They gave her a Section 8 voucher for Stanford. What was she gonna do with her son? Put him in school in Stanford and then have no one watching him after school?
Well, how does Norwalk give you a Section 8 voucher for Stanford?
Don't ask me, but that's what they gave her.
Hmm.
That's what they gave her. This whole thing was a total complete nightmare.
Wow.
So I don't know what we can do, if there's anything we can do, but something to chew on. And then the other piece of this is the reason she was vacating her unit, and I told her she should have talked to me beforehand, because I believe once they move out, there's nothing we can do. Even if they don't give her back her security deposit, I told her I don't think there was anything we can do. The reason she was vacating her existing place is that it was mouse infested. And I'm talking about to the point where when she took her mattress off the bed, off the top, off the box spring was covered in mouse feces.
Where does she live?
It was 105 South Main Street. So she's actually, like I said, with Darlene's help and Darlene and I working together, we were able to get her a place in Soundview Landing. Wasn't the place they'd initially promised her, because I told them, I said, her moving to Stanford is not an option. The only option you have is to put her in one of your non-income restricted units at a reduced rent for a year. I said, otherwise we're gonna go and seek legal counsel because you told her to go and give notice. So that's what they ended up doing for her. But what happens to the people that don't have that support system that she had? This is a problem that has to be addressed.
I will address it.
Thank you. If you want to call me separate from this, Brenda, then that's fine. And we can go into more detail.
Okay, but I will address it.
Okay. And that was it.
Wow.
Yeah, I've had a rough couple of weeks.
Hmm.
I've got a question to ask Russell. Is it legal for a rental entity to give a verbal, okay, you have an apartment here without any paperwork? Is that legal?
It's legal because you're allowed to orally contract. It's a verbal contract is as good as a written contract, but both parties should be very careful when you're dealing with an oral contract as opposed to a written contract, because once someone doesn't remember what was said anymore, you lose a lot of the ability to prove anything.
Right.
Or if the person that gave you the oral contract no longer works there.
Right.
You got a problem.
Wow.
The good thing is that this young lady was very honest and she told Darlene exactly what she said. And I guess that's what she always says. So she didn't have a problem saying it.
Right.
So she told Darlene exactly what she said. And Darlene said, whoa, wait, you just told me I have a place and to go give notice.
That would be a breach of contract, and you could go to court and get damages. That doesn't help you when you're living out on the street.
It doesn't help you when you're on the street.
Wow.
Stay tuned.
Definite. Brenda, I'll wait for you. I'll look for your call.
Okay, so is that a case that we could have taken on?
Doesn't look to me like you'd be able to, because it's not one of the areas that we deal with. Even with what Mr. Church spoke about, it doesn't look, they never had access to the property to begin with.
Right. The only thing
services, they weren't, they never crossed that threshold that would give you jurisdiction over something like that.
The only thing we could have probably taken on would have been if she would have stopped paying her rent to her landlord and filed a complaint as to why she was withholding her rent. Maybe we could have taken that on with her existing, but nothing with the new, I didn't think.
Correct.
But I have a problem with this, because if we don't do something like yesterday, like tomorrow, I mean, this is going to continue to happen.
It's going to happen to someone else. It's going to happen to someone else.
No,
that's why I brought it up.
Not really, because they're full. So it's not going to happen anymore. But I will, and Babs, we can talk offline, but I will address it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really know the structure of how the city deals with these developers, or if they're in grant money or anything else. There's ways to the city to talk to the landlord/developer to let them know that this behavior is not acceptable.
Hmm,
Right.
That was
Thank you.
horrible. It was horrible.
Sounds like it.
hmm. Wow.
Okay.
Okay, now you can do your motion to adjourn, John.
Motion to adjourn.
That's
Second.
Fran.
Second.
Okay.
Fran,
and-
second.
Okay, and Fran. And it's 8:17.
Happy
And-
Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Everyone have a
Yeah.
wonderful holiday. Oh my
Thanks,
God.
everyone.
Happy and healthy
Yeah.
Thanksgiving to everybody.
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Don't eat too much.
Mm,
Bye, everyone.
All,
See you all
all
in
in
December.
Bye-bye.
favor.
Bye-bye.
Have a good night,
Bye.
everyone.
Favor, aye, bye.
Thank you.
Oh, aye and bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, Fran. And thank you, everyone that voted for
Take
me.
care.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good night.
thank you.